In this, we can see
not kit based. Of course,
Yes.
for the industries, whenever you are doing, you will be working with
Yes, sir, that is true. Actually, students must know the actual method, not the kit basis, because
So-
many of the examiners are also insisting the same. Please go ahead, Pasha, sir.
this is alkali lysis method, which was in fact this is the first video that we shooted, and in fact my that's a, actually when we prepare the videos, try to avoid our appearance in the videos, try to show the content as much as possible, as this is the first video. You must have seen microbiology, immunology, and other things, like personal appearance is not there, nowhere it is there, but this is the first video that I have prepared, so the personal appearance is there. So I request excuse. And already principal has explained, Raju has explained, you know, the principle after alkali lysis, sudden shift from acid to from alkaline to acid will create a shock in which high molecular weight proteins, genomic DNA, and cell debris gets precipitated, and you plasmid DNA, as it is smaller in size, it will remain soluble form. So when you do the centrifugation, you will your plasmid DNA will be there in the supernatant. This is the principle of plasmid isolation. Just once again, see, we'll be doing solution with solution 2, it will be in alkaline condition around 12 to 13 pH. Then you will be shifting acetate of 4.6 pH. So sudden shift from alkaline to neutral or slightly acidic creates a shock, and this shock creates the precipitation of genomic DNA, high molecular weight proteins, as well as cell debris, whereas low molecular weight and circular plasmid will remain in the supernatant. So you do the centrifugation and you'll be collecting. So here, this is the technique that I'm having, just because you already alkaline, there's a many prep you have seen will go in the first. We are supposed to prepare NaOH, SDS separately, stock solutions, and just we are supposed to mix before starting the experiment. That should not be prepared in advance. Just speed up the process. We'll be first harvesting, we'll be doing. We'll be collecting this plasmid culture. Now we'll be washing this pellet with normal saline. Just I am going speed. Just I am fast forwarding the video. Leftover media that will be washed out in this phase. Now we'll be adding solution 1, tris EDTA NaCl, tris glucose EDT also we can take. Tris maintains ionic balance, glucose maintains isopycnic conditions, EDTA works as a chelating agent. Yeah, RNase is there in order to remove the RNA impurities in your final product. It should be suspended properly. And as we have added RNAs, it should be incubated 37 degrees Celsius for half an hour. And after the incubation, we'll be adding solution 2 here. Gently mixing should be done. This is the indication. You can open the lid and you will get a thread-like structure. This is the indication of lysis.
Is the viscosity, increased viscosity here, and the second one, if you open the cap of the up and draft, you can see the thread-like structures. You can see the thread-like structure that indicates the cell lysis has been occurred. We are supposed to add solution 3.
Here ice cold solution 3 should be added. It should be it can be 3 molar sodium acetate or 5 molar potassium acetate of 4.6 pH. This pH is very important here. And incubate on ice for some time.
If you are incubating at 4 degrees Celsius on water, ice water.
So it will enhance the precipitation rate.
It has been increased.
E-
Temperature, now we will do the centrifugation. Sweep for 10 minutes.
Max speed for 15 minutes. Oh. Now carefully collect the supernatant, the top portion. This is actually principal phase of plasma dissolution.
Each time, so be careful. Keep mark 50 milliliters per time.
Now isolation has been finished. Now
And at the top you can see the DNA precipitated, whereas your plasmid will be there in the supernatant liquid form. So we'll be collecting that liquid plasmid carefully.
it is in soluble fraction, so it will be there in the top.
Precipitated DNA at the top we are supposed to take. This is chilled isopropanol
Now we are doing the purification process.
initially. Isopropanol should be added on the walls of the up and drugs. నా సైడ్ నుంచి మీకు కనబడుతుంది మధ్యలో క్లియర్ జోన్ ఒకటి మధ్యలో వస్తుందా మాకు ఇక్కడ నుంచి కనబడుతుంది you can see the zonation after adding the isopropanol. Once the zonation has been formed, you allow it for incubation on ice for 10 minutes. The precipitate at the base, after isopropanol phase, you can see the precipitate at the base. That should be light in color. If there is a protein contamination, that will become more dense. You can see there is a precipitate on you after the your pellet 100% ethanol.
Absolute alcohol. we are throwing the supernatant, and second time wash will be doing with 70% ethanol.
70% ethanol, 100 microliters each of 70% ethanol is being.
Then one more wash.
Doing the supernatant, it should be air dry. So just if you can incubate at 42 degrees Celsius for 2-3 minutes, if you put it under the air with the fan. Now to the air dried tea solution, 25 microliters.
Sorry, Tris EDTA is being added to that. Otherwise, you can add Miliki also. Now it is we have isolated the plasmid by alkali lysis method. Then we'll do the electrophorese. This plasmid is suspended. This is agarose. We are using 0.8% of agarose gel. Generally, plasmids will be having 3 bands: supercoiled, nicked, and linear. Molecular weight is same, but the topology is different. So, in order to separate the plasmids, actually supercoiled is excellent for recombinant DNA technology work. Linear is a worst thing. So, when you do the plasmid isolation, these 3 bands do appear, and even though it is the same molecular weight, supercoiled plasmid DNA will migrate fast. So at the base, at the bottom, you will be having the supercoiled, then followed by nicked one. Nicked one will be lean, round one, but it is not supercoiled. And the third category is circular, because both the strands are nicked over here. So it will be retaining at the top. And a best plasmid isolation, the molecular weight should be taken the central band. The one which is having a nicked at one side. Actually, if you do the if you are getting a 1 or 2 bands in plasmid isolation, that is excellent plasmid isolation. Generally, with kit we'll get 1 or 2 bands, and we'll see this manual method we are doing how many bands we'll see. Ethidium bromide is added already. After adding ethidium bromide, we'll be pouring it into the tray. Percent solution.
See the wells over there. You can see the wells are being visualized very clear. So now what I will do is I will load the plasmid DNA. We have got a very little amount of plasmid DNA, 25 microliters of plasmid DNA. So the entire plasmid DNA I will be loading into the well. So this is a loading die, loading buffer, where I will be taking this loading die into the plasmid solution directly, and that is loaded.
Here loading die is nothing but TI buffer 50%, 50% glycerol, and the dye generally will be using toluidine blue you can use, or bromophenol blue you can use. Here glycerol works as a tracking agent. So we were after loading, your DNA will be pulled down.
You can do a gentle centrifuge. Any plasmid is there on the middle parts. You can see simultaneously you are supposed to load the remaining ones also. 50 volts. There you can see the focus, which is indicating that electrophoresis is going up. This is a transilluminator.
You can use
These are fixed.
gel dark also, you can use if you have.
These separated gel.
Sometimes UV transparent trays are there, then you need not to put it in. See, this is the plasmid that has been isolated. There is no RNA contamination in it, and it has come as a single band. And in the like one of the sample, 2 bands have come, and it is a blood vision, but okay. This is about manual. You can practice at your lab level manual plasmid isolation and gel electrophoresis. Over to Raju. Raju, हो गया?
This is the overnight grown culture of E. coli carrying the PUC18 plasmid in it, and this is solution 1, which is prepared and autoclaved and kept it in the ice. And these are the two components of solution 2. There is NaOH and SDS, and we have prepared the fresh solution 1, 2, 3. These are the solution 1, 2, 3, and we the ones which we are going to use now. So this is the normal saline. Let's start the plasmid isolation part. So first we'll take 4 ependrars. So in sterile conditions, we are supposed to take the 2 ml culture in each ependrar. So this 2 ml of culture will be centrifuged now to get a pellet, and subsequently it will be washed. This is centrifuge, tabletop centrifuge. We'll be doing the centrifuge. We'll be washing the. We'll be pelleting out the cells and we'll be washing. So I'll go opening here. Balance the weight. And better if you have a cooling centrifuge. Down right. Over.
आपको
You should lock it properly. So initial centrifugation you are supposed to do for 10,000 RPM for 2 minutes. So you are supposed to set the time. I'm setting it for 2 minutes. What is this? So now 2 minutes time is over. Let it stop. Now I think it has stopped. You can take it out. You can see the pellet has been formed. So this 2 ml pellet is quite enough for doing the plasma dissolution. We supposed to discard the supernatant. There must be some microorganisms even in the supernatant, so handle it carefully. Followed by the harvesting, we need to do the cell wash. For the cell wash, we'll be taking half to 1 ml of normal saline can be added. So this is the normal saline. I'll take 1 ml now. Now the pellet should be suspended in the normal saline completely. Then only the washing will be perfect. So you mix it with your micropipette tip. See, there is no pellet form. Completely the cells have been suspended in the suspension. Now we'll do one more centrifugation, and now we will be pelleting the washed cells now. Let's go. Sir, next time. Yeah, once it comes to 0, now remove your pen drops. See, now relatively you can see the white pellet now. Earlier, because of the impurities, it was a bit brown in color. Now it is a white pellet. Now cell harvest has been completed. Now we need to do actual plasmid isolation. We'll remove. First of all, we'll remove the supernatant. Now we'll be adding 200 microliters of solution 1 containing RNAs in it. This is 100 microliters. So this is 100. Then we'll suspend the pellet in solution 1 perfectly. Thoroughly, so the cells will not be there in the pellet form. Incubate for 10 minutes at room temperature. So we'll leave it for 10 minutes at room temperature. The solution 1 addition and incubation will be going for the solution 2. This is solution 1, reconstituted solution 2. Again, it should be 200 microliters. Now this should be gently mixed. You can see the viscosity. The cells have been lysed. You can see the viscosity clearly. I'll do the mix for all the things. You can see the lysis has been occurred or not. See the thread-like structure that is coming.
Yeah.
The lysis is indicated by two features. One is the viscosity, increased viscosity here, and the second one, if you open the cap of the updraft, you can see the thread-like structures. You can see the thread-like structure that indicates the cell lysis has been occurred. You are supposed to add solution 3 and you should incubate on ice bath. Okay. So now solution 3 is supposed to be added. So I will add 250 microliters of solution 3. Then I will add 50 microliters each. See, you can see after addition of solution 3, precipitation is taking place. This will be enhanced if you are incubating at 4 degrees Celsius on water bath, ice bath. See, gently you mix like this and put it on the ice. Incubate for 10 minutes further. After incubation, you can see the precipitate has been increased at low temperature. Now we'll do the certification at high speed for 10 minutes. Close the cap. Now set the time. This is the 10 minutes. ఇక్కడ మన హై స్పీడ్ అన్నాం కదా. జస్ట్ 10 దగ్గర ఉన్న ఎంతవరకు హెడ్ తీసుకుని పెడతాం. 2 fresh up and drafts. This is 50 microliters I have set. So I will collect 50 microliters each time. So be careful. Finish. Tip mark. 50 microliters per time. This is enough. You can see the DNA threads, precipitated DNA threads. You can see this side, and this is the protein portion at the base. Here, they separate everything. This is the protein precipitate at the base, and at the top you can see the DNA precipitated, whereas your plasmid will be there in the supernated liquid form. So we'll be collecting that liquid plasmid carefully. Without disturbing the precipitated DNA at the top, we are supposed to take the this. So these are the supernatants that we have isolated after the centrifugation. So these centrifugations we will be adding ice cold isopropanol now. This is a chilled isopropanol. So I am adding 50 microliters first initially. Isopropanol should be added on the walls of the up and roughs. మధ్యలో జోన్స్ కనబడుతున్నాయి నా సైడ్ నుంచి మీకు కనబడుతున్నాయి మధ్యలో క్లియర్ జోన్ ఒకటి మధ్యలో వస్తుందా మాకు ఇక్కడ నుంచి కనబడుతుంది You can see the zonation after adding the isopropanol. Once the zonation has been formed, you allow it for incubation on ice for 10 minutes. Room temperature పెట్టినా పర్లేదు కాకపోతే దీనికి ఫాస్ట్. And after half an hour, you are supposed to do centrifugation at 10,000 rpm. But you can see the precipitate at the base. After isopropanol phase, you can see the precipitate at the base. That should be light in color. If there is a protein contamination, that will become more denser. So we'll collect out. Carefully, see, this is the precipitate what we got. Carefully, we are supposed to discard the supernatant. And there is the precipitate, you can see.
Focus చేయడానికి time.
You can see there is a precipitate over here after the isopropanol phase. And this pellet has to be washed by absolute alcohol, then followed by 70% ethanol. Now we'll be washing your pellet with 100% ethanol, chilled 100% ethanol. So 100 microliters of 100% ethanol is added. Now just do a gentle shaking. So if at all non-DNA portion is there, something that will come in 100% ethanol, especially small proteins will come into it. Now we are supposed to do the centrifugation. Just after gentle shaking, we are supposed to do the centrifugation at 10,000 for 2 minutes. Madam, print ले ली. Now we will be taking it out after the absolute alcohol centrifugation. See. but the size of the pellet has been reduced when you compare with isopropanol. See, very little amount of pellet is remaining. The supernatant after the obsolete alcohol is removed, now this is 70% ethanol. 100 microliters each of 70% ethanol is being added. Now it is gently mixed, not too much, and again centrifuged at high 10,000 for 2 minutes. Even open lid से भी centrifuge करे तो हो जाएगा. So the time 2 minutes and $10,000. Put this go. After 70% ethanol, very little amount of precipitate is remaining. So I'll remove the supernatant. After removing the supernatant, it should be air dried. So just if you can incubate at 42 degrees Celsius for 2-3 minutes, and if you put it under the air, under the fan also, that ethanol, whatever amount is there, that will be lost. Yes, I'll keep it here in oven for 45 degrees Celsius for about 5 minutes. Yeah. Now to the air dried precipitate pellet, we'll be adding the TAE solution, 25 microliters of TAE. See, there is a frothing, which is an indication of a good amount of DNA in it. Yeah. With this one, we conclude the plasmid isolation. So in the next class, we'll do the electrophoresis of this isolated plasmid.
.7 grams of agarose. Nickel flask. To this I'm adding 1x TI buffer 70 ml. So 0.7 grams of agarose and 70 ml of TI buffer, 1x TI buffer. Okay, this is 50. Agarose in the TI buffer, so I'm microwaving it for 2 minutes. Place it inside the microwave. Set the time for 2 minutes. Set the time for 2 minutes and keep it around 100. Kin the niche. Yeah. Now close it in the sides. క్లోజ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ ఇంకా ఎక్కువ ఇప్పుడు ఇంకోటి అతుకుంటుంది అదే వన్ మోర్ రావాలి
అంతే అంతే
దిస్ సైడ్
అది
for 2 minutes. Transparent liquid, okay?
Temperature of 40 to 42 degrees Celsius. We are supposed to add ethidium bromide. Mix it thoroughly. Then pour into the tray which has been sealed with the tape. Make sure that the bubbles are not formed. For setting for some time. Once it gets solidified, see the comb is placed. This is the comb. Comb is placed over here, and once it settles down, you remove the comb and load your isolated plasmid DNA. This is the 0.8 solution. 0.8 gel we are preparing. We have taken 0.8 grams of agarose and dissolved in 100 ml of TAE buffer, 1x TAE buffer. Actually, this is the cathode. The black one is generally the cathode. So we'll be keeping in this way. And this is the TAE 1x TAE buffer. Add TAE buffer. Now you remove your comb carefully without breaking the gel. You can see the wells over there. So you can see the wells are being visualized very clear. So now what I will do is I will load the plasmid DNA. We have got a very little amount of plasmid DNA, 25 microliters of plasmid DNA. So the entire plasmid DNA I will be loading into the well. So this is a loading dye, loading buffer, where I will be taking this loading dye into the plasmid solution directly, and that is loaded. Actually, for plasmid and mixing, you can do a gentle centrifuge. If any plasmid is there on the well walls, that will be settling down. So can see, hold it at around 45 degrees angle, and you drop your solution into the well. And simultaneously, you are supposed to load the remaining wells also. So it is now we kept it at 50 volts. There you can see the bubbles, which is indicating that electroforces is going on. Okay. Now we'll close it with the lid. Almost completed. So we'll stop the electroforces and we'll check it on the transluminator. So I'll take out the gel. This is a transilluminator where the UV bulbs are fixed. Now I'll place the separated gel. Put off the lights. Yeah, actually plasma too, but
Split out on there.
so we got the plasmid DNA. So that if there is a genomic DNA, it will be nearby the well at the top, and if the RNA or PCR products are there, they will be migrating along with the dye. So this is the plasmid DNA of around 8.9 kilo base pairs, so it is there in between. We don't have any molecular marker, so we didn't kept it. So this is the plasmid DNA.